Now, welcome to my second lecture on time series analysis. So, hope you have gone through the first one. Now, in this lecture, we shall cover the transfer function model and its importance, and how the unusual intervention occurs in the time series, and analysis of multivariate time series and discrete control systems. So, the first one. Now, estimation of transfer function. So, what is a transfer function? So, in industry, we study the process dynamics. That means there are the raw materials that are coming, they are processed. Finally, the finished products were produced and they are transported to the respective destinations. So, in this entire process, we have to control on all the components. So, it is very important while designing new plants to have control in each of these. So here we have the final output. It is in the form of a time series, which is a function of some input processes that are also time series. For example, in output, it depends upon the arrival of the raw materials. So arrival of the raw materials in different days. So that becomes the input, and output is what is the quantity of products produced in each day. So that is output. So the output, that is the final time series, is a function of several inputs. So inputs are then transformed into the outputs by the help of a transfer function. So in this also, the inputs, there are also some controlled disturbances, uncontrolled disturbances. They affect the input values. So always there will be a noise term. So the transfer function model, it is the input output model where the inputs are also have some noise components. So consider, for example, the transfer function, two processes, two time series. Xt, it is the rate of air supply. Yt is the concentration of carbon dioxide produced in the furnace. So air supply to the furnace and the carbon dioxide produced. So let the relationship between these two is expressed as Yt, that is the concentration of the carbon dioxide produced at time t, that is equal to a linear function of nu j, and xt minus j. T minus j is the um, air supply at time t minus j. So nu j here, it is the transfer function model that relates xt minus j with yt. So in this diagram, we have recorded this output, that means concentration of carbon dioxide at intervals of 9 seconds, and this is our system: input air feed rate and output concentration of carbon dioxide in the furnace. So now the methods of estimating the transfer function, how to estimate this transfer function, that is most important. And as we know that the input, there are also some uncontrolled disturbances introduced. These are called as the noise. So we have to consider those also. Another important application of the transfer function models is forecasting. So for forecasting, we consider the dynamic relationship between two different series, yt and xt, and past values of both the series used for forecasting the desired series yt. So here the role of the transfer function is most important in forecasting. So then if there are some input processes and there are unusual interventions in the event or the system. So take for example, in an industry, different raw materials they arrive to the industry on different days. So that is a, if we record the amount quantity of raw materials arrived in different days, it is a time series xt. So the disturbances may occur in the route also during transportation. There may be some breakdown, there may be some um, unusual accidents, or there are strikes, or there are so many. So these are the unusual intervention. So we have to consider those. So those also affects the input as well as the output. So how to analyze these unusual interventions, that is also important. So the presence and absence of the unusual intervention can be analyzed by simply indicating by using a simple indicator variable which takes 1 and 0 in presence or absence of the particular event. So then next analysis of multivariate time series. Multivariate time series, as we know that the different physical and environmental sciences, time series data is available on several related variables. For example, we can consider the amount of rainfall at a particular time. So it depends upon the wind speed and the humidity, the surface temperature, air temperature. So all this. Similarly, the position in a when cyclone occurs, the position of the center point of the cyclone, the path at any particular time, there are several factors also responsible. They are all inputs. So we have to consider the output as a multivariate time series. Then we have to consider the discrete control system. So what is a discrete control system? As we know in quality control, mostly in industrial problems, we have the process control. The different control charts are there to detect when a process is within the control and when the process goes outside the control. And then more sophisticated designs that QSUM charts, geometric moving average charts also devised to have a better control. So subsequently, these are helpful to detect at which stage the process goes out of control. So, and in industry, this is a continuous mechanism, screening mechanism, that detecting the region for this out of control process, and there we have to detect some assignable causes of variation and remove, because assignable causes once detected it can be removed, but the chance causes cannot. But we should have every precaution to detect the assignable cause as soon as it occurs. So we give emphasis on when a change of this particular kind occur. when a change in process occurs. So rather we have to think of why it occurs so that preventive measures can be taken in advance. So why it occurs and when it occurs, these are two important questions, and these can be analyzed by this time series, the time at which a assignable cause occurs. So the discrete control system process are also an important part of this time series analysis. So now there are some automated devices are also designed uh, in sophisticated processing units. So one is they evaluate the process, and the errors are detected automatically by the computers and engineering process, and this is uh, called as automatic process control. So in this, the inherent disturbances and noise in the system inputs that are impossible and practical to remove or impractical to remove. We cannot remove the completely the unusual disturbances or the noise. Noise is always there, that we call as the random. Thank you for this video. Now, here we have considered the five different areas on which we can go for the analysis of the time series. So now in the next, we have to consider these each area individually. So that it depends upon the understanding of the ZT value of the time series at time t and its previous values. So in my next video, next lecture, we shall consider how can we better understand these relationships so that we can use this model for the future. Thank you.